Yo, what's good, everybody? It's KyFy. How you doing? I hope you're doing good, because I've been going through a rough one, but I'm back because I don't give up. My ego, the negative part of it anyway, told me that I wasn't going to achieve my dream, and I listened to it, and then I regretted it. For about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I regretted it. I tried to get back on, feeling like this wasn't my calling. And the next thing you know, I'm back here because one day all the messages came back and I realized that I couldn't keep this to myself. So this is why you're here today. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. So let's get right to it. Rock bottom is the promised landing. Now, what is so special about rock bottom? I said this in my last reading. Rock bottom is the face of yourself. You know how you have consciousness? There's selfness too. Selfness is basically the name of your shadow. Consciousness is the name of your ego, right? So when you come into yourself, you have to understand that when there's nobody else but you to rely on, you get to see your full potential and where you fall short. There's no crutch anymore. So now you get to see yourself for what you present and what you can put out in this world. Now, this is a scary place to be because I call it the karma trial period, right? So basically, until you actually know what the lesson is, that's when the karma is going to start coming back to you. So let's just say if you've done something, then this could go for other people that have done things to you too. If they've done things to you, if they did not get why it could be wrong, they cannot get the karma yet. It'll come out in different ways, but it won't register as the karma that you know that they're supposed to get. Why? Because they truly don't understand. And until they understand it, they can hit like a video like on the feed or doom scrolling. Next thing you know, you hit something that'll give them the understanding of what they did to you. And then now God says, okay, now that you know that this is a bad thing, how are we gonna fix it? And if they don't get up on it, like to try to make amends and that kind of thing, but it's amends spiritually. Sometimes you don't speak to those people. It's amends spiritually, right? Because you gotta answer to God. Ain't nobody else you answering to. So yeah, rock bottom is the promised landing. Why? Because when you get there, everybody calls it a bad place. Don't ever call yourself bad again. You are beautiful. That's basically your inner child. We are not adults. We are grown inner childs with skin suits, bigger ones, that learned how to operate in this world. That is just, adult is literally just the operation, the fact that you can't operate in this world. But we are literally our inner childs. But the adult is filled with the ego. As we get older, we think that we're not one with God anymore. When children are young, you can see how they're fearless, and it's like nothing can really break their spirit until you train them how to be broken. We are all trained on how to do these negative things. They become habitual. And you know, there's circumstances of where you're from and all that other stuff, but it's the programming that we kind of got to do something about. Well, when we finally realize that when you finally realize that you've been programmed, there's much work to do. I should just leave it like that. So just let that sink in real quick. The next message is uncompromised. Now, when you're uncompromised, compromise is the worst place to be. Compromise is like, they seen all my cards, they know my power. If I do anything, it'll be a detriment to me, right? Compromise. You under contract, this, that, and you can't do certain things because it's compromised. Like, it's done already. It's nothing you can do about it. It's about to break, right? So uncompromised is the thing that I was listening to, and then I looked at the word. It has promise in it. Promise, promised. So when you look at the etymology of it, you can understand what was promised for you is on a condition, but you're unconscious to it. And I don't even know why that came up like that. So if that's a message for you, please tell me why, because that was the word that was stuck in my head just now. I said it so we can move on. Alright, So we all know, well, not we all know, if you've seen Get Out, right, you can understand the concept of the sunken place. Or better example, when you feel like you're sinking in general. Regular water out in the sea, there's the sea floor, there's sea level, air, right? So these are elements that also goes within your spirit. There's a spiritual world too, but the things that you see with your conscious eye is almost like inverted, or what it should be spiritually. For instance, spirit or spiritual energy is energy manifested in this world. So I'm gonna keep going. So you sink into spirit because spirit is water, consciousness is air, and physical, and you have the astral, which is the time. Now you sink into spirit, this sunken place, right? What can you do to breathe underwater? You can have a contraption of some kind, or this can be literally pieces of you that you have to learn to transmute at this time. When you sink and reach the sea floor, rock bottom, right? You're drowning in what? Your own energy. And it's all up to you at this point. And this is why it feels like the weight of the world is upon you. Because, not that it is, you see the trial ahead. You have that epiphany, like, oh my. See, epiphany is just like the revelation of it, right? You can have an epiphany for something bad too. Oh, not even bad, negative to your ego. Like all the work that it would take to do it. It's so much work that you get, I forgot the word, but yeah, let's move on. So there's dreaming, and then there's fantasizing. Fantasizing is breathing air, consciousness, ego, right? What your ego wants. Dreaming is breathing spirit, oneness, unconsciousness, what you're unconsciously good at, the things that you do unconsciously. That's dreaming, right? And you can understand that the dream, it's a potential from God, the piece of God that you are, that's your birthright, and yourself is the one that shows you what the dream is, what the dream could be. But it's not something that you see, it's something that you dig out and find. So let's just say if it's a cave, your dream is at the end of the cave at the boss. You gotta go in that cave, it's all dark in there. But in that cave you get the gems, you get the ways to move forward, you get the ways to move through. It's, yeah, I know you can understand these analogies, so just let that play around in your head real quick. So keep going. The more stamina you have, the more mana you can store. So understand you have manifestation, right? Manifestation is cool to a certain extent, but let me tell you what it's really about. So your strength is your ability to hold up and keep manifestations. It's not physical strength. We're talking about the spiritual world. Strength in the spiritual world is your ability to keep space for your manifestations. And I can understand that I'm telling the truth right now because my camera's flashing and I won't allow it to disrupt what I got to tell you right now. So the more stamina you have, it's not physical, spiritual stamina that you have. The spiritual stamina says this: you get triggered by something, but it doesn't trigger you. You hold back the trigger and you respond. That's stamina, because once you break, you got to take a rest. So how good are you able to keep these negative things away from you? And this happens daily. daily. People literally, it's like almost the devil just looks for ways and openings just to piss you off in the morning. A lot of times in the morning, because that's what programs you in the morning. When you wake up, you come from peace. You come from that dream. You come from that place. You come from that place that's basically the end. Like, I believe that the dreams has a lot to do with our endings. So we won't fully leave this earth until we achieve that dream. We don't know what the dream is. Certain things that we just wanted to learn when we was in heaven, next thing you know, we had a want to do it. They showed us this in a lot of movies. Man, with the black jazz dude, and he was in heaven as the blue ghost, and he came back down into another body. Whatever that movie was, that movie blew my mind because there was so many concepts in there. Jumping into a black hole that you end up in a person. So until you have the right to go down into this dream realm, which is earth, this earthly realm is the dream realm, right? Until you have a reason, like a dream, to have permission to be here, you can't come. So until he tried to fake his way in there, and then he was sent back, and then he came back again, because it was a true intention, a beautiful intention or something like that. But let me keep going. So the last message was, the tower for you is a pedestal for them. It's very powerful, because when you're in your tower and you invite somebody in to see from your highest perspective, they get to see what you can do for them, because that's not their tower and that's not what they see. They see it only because they're attached to you. They only have access to even envisioning it in their life because you showed it to them, spiritually, mentally, physically. It really doesn't matter. Because you're in their presence, they're in your tower, and you them, right? So you can see what their possibilities are, they can see what your possibilities are. Now, depending on the person, are they going to nurture you in this route? Are they going to manipulate you and control you so you can get them to the place through you? I hope you can understand where this is going, because it's all spiritual. In this spiritual world, it's mayhem. That's the chaos that's going on. The chaos is in the spiritual world. We see and we be acting like it's not chaotic in the spirit. A lot of people, we have taught ourselves to hold back and to hold down this energy, to hold it down, like not to crash out. The world is not crashing out right now because we all have a collective ability to hold it down to a certain extent. And they're trying to go and they're trying to get past this level, and they won't be able to. They won't be able to. Why? Because as oneness, we understand that if we get past a certain line, there's no going back. And none of us want to go past that line. Yeah. And if we're talking about them versus us as a people, we have a tower and they know it. So they're trying to control and use us to get them to a place. They can't get there. And if we go on even further, they cannot create. They can only take and manipulate and use. Creation is ours. And this is why they try to control us, because we can create a way out of this. And that's one of the reasons why I'm even here. I know a way out of this, and I'm trying to get there. So if you like what you heard so far, like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna move on to the first part of the reading, but before that, this is the Zin-Finity Board. It is an elementally energetic grid that flows on a 22 part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. So what does that mean? Anything that you can possibly think of is here, and it's up to us to make it clear. So right, the first part of the reading is emanation. So we're gonna get the who, what, when, where, and why of the situation. So starting off with who, we have, it's time to take action. And this is the new moon in Aries, right? So this is the new moon in Aries, and it's time to take action real quick. Right? New moon in Aries, time to take action. Alright, so this is the archetypes card. It's the circles, and I found it cool because it's the shape of the moon, whatever. So the forest, and it's time to take action. Let's get it real quick. Do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan. A new male is coming into your life, and this is about the forest. What's in the forest? A whole bunch of dangers until you clear out some trees, right, to build on. So just imagine there's a whole bunch of raw material in chaos, and when you control it, you get to use it. That's it. And a new male that's coming into your life. This is who? This is who? And it's not, if you're a dude, okay. The male is spiritual. A masculine formation to form some of that chaotic energy that's constantly leaking out. And it's like, if you can control it, not control it, if you can manage it, management is the better way, because opposite of chaos is control, but parallel to chaos is nurturing, and parallel to control is management. So you can understand the positives and the negatives of both situations, right? So yeah, it's a formation, a plan of action through a person. Maybe somebody's trying to tell you something. Maybe somebody's been trying to tell you something. Maybe you've been seeing it on your feed. Maybe it's been bugging you and almost annoying you. What is it? Write it down and look at it like it's like somebody else wrote it down, because it is. Your spirit is trying to communicate with you, and that's the only way it can do it. So that's who. What is show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. So let's see this real quick. So show the world the real moon. Wow. This is the empty room, and the real you, it's filled with nothing that turns into something. Now, do you believe God is number one? No one. Number one. No one. Nothing, nowhere, nobody, no one. That's God. Because from those places, miracles happen. And they always happen in the nick of time, before the nick of time. Blessings, it always happens. It always does. And it comes out of nothing, comes something when you need it. And what a coincidence that is. Coincidence is the hand of God. So nothing is in an empty room. Show the world the real you. Show the world the God in you. You're ready now. And you have enough strength to physically manifest yourself in this world. You're not here yet fully. You're still that ego adult, and not the inner child that you came here as. You have to go back to that energy, heal it, and then yourself will come out, because it's nervous. It's a feminine energy. You as the masculine have to court, like you have to take it on dates and stuff like that. Your spirit into this world, like that's the Disney fantasy. That's the Disney fantasy right there. It's between your mind and your spirit. Well, I should say your consciousness and your selfness. Consciousness being a masculine, selfness, shadow, feminine being a feminine, right? So yeah, full moon in Aquarius. Don't lose the beauty of romance and life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. This is for what, by the way? And don't lose the beauty and romance of life. Don't forget to give when it's necessary to, when it's rightfully to, when you're not being taken advantage of, right? Don't forget to give, because the way that the spiritual universe works, you must give to get. The way money works in this world is different. It's different rules. But in the spirit, that's how it operates. You are 100%, right? When you give, you have 70, and then God can bless you with 30, bringing you back to 100. That's the way the spirit runs. You are always 100. So as things are being taken away from you, things are being given to you, but you're so focused on one being taken away from you, you can't see the incoming blessings. You can't see it. So yeah, that was what? When is a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, and work through your fears. And the archetype was the shaman. So you can understand what a shaman is. Usually it's a spiritual person, highly spiritual person. Can be a healer, can be this, can be that, can be a seer. It's just like the baseline for all spiritual things, because I believe we all shamans in a little bit, like most of us, honestly, because that's what we're trying to be, learning all this esoteric information and metaphysics and how it connects from spirit to science. This is our, you can see where this is going. So look, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Feel more, think less. Oh, right. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. Alright, so how you present yourself is necessary, but do not let the ego part of that take over, because If you cover up what you are, that's a mask that you're putting on. And masking requires energy. And as I said before, the mana is the energy that you use when you're masking and stuff like that, and the stamina. So you're draining yourself by trying to be something else when you're not being yourself. Being yourself allows you to constantly build energy because you're not trying to do anything else. You understand? Alright. So the next one was work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. Time to let go of a grudge you're holding. Move on from jealousy. Stop being obsessive. Could it be that you're being paranoid? Make an investment. And the affirmation is have some sexy time. Now, sexy time is about union. So understand how God works. Male plus female equals union that creates a new thing that's gonna do the same thing. And it has a purpose and all that stuff. So union, sex, is about creation. Two things must come together in order to create. So an idea must come together with your body, your mind, right? Because ideas come from the spirit. Your mind is a calculator that forms those ideas into something that your body can do. So there's an order to things, right? So yeah, that was when. Where is a new start is coming? Someplace. So if you're moving, this is a sign. And it has to talk about the cave. So I mentioned the cave before. I didn't really look at it when I mentioned the cave, so I find that funny. And this cave right here, wow, I don't even know what to say first. You can definitely see somebody's eyes. You can definitely see it's nothing but you in that cave. So the selfness, your shadow, this is the shadow zone. You're gonna be surrounded by yourself, all in yourself, learning about yourself and extracting the gems from yourself and claiming your own space at rock bottom, because that's where yourself is. You cannot fall for long until you reach yourself. Eventually you will say to yourself, at a point it's gonna be up to me. And once you start holding that accountability, rock bottom, you will fall no longer. That's what accountability does. You don't fall in accountability. You literally either stay at peace or rise. It's up to you. But that's what the accountability does. You don't fall. Anybody who's trying to make you fall, being accountable, they have to stop, because you can't go any lower than the point that they tried to claim you are. Like the negativity, like say if you did something, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, look at you. See? They're like, finally, you made a mistake. Now I can go all in. People like that have a special place in hell. So, the most important question, why? Why did they do that? Why did this happen? Why? Because, as I said in that movie showed me that until you had a reason to be here, that's your why. You saw something that you as a soul could do in this realm to spread love, because that's our goal. That's like our constant side mission. Spread as much love as you can, because we are unlimited, abundant into doing that. A homeless person can show love, so it's unlimited. You don't need money to show love. And if you are thinking that somebody's not using money to show you love, understand that, because love is movement. Love is not lumerance. Love is movement. I give you flowers and it moves you. Now, oh man, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, and this is the storm. So the storm came up. Why? Because whoever was in your cave getting your gems, you know, your tower, right? At your rock bottom, at your peak. Rock bottom is the peak? That's crazy. But it's when you truly recognize that your brilliance. It is truly when you recognize your brilliance. I'm not gonna lie. But rock bottom is truly when you recognize your brilliance, because you are accountable for where you are. I've made mistakes to get to where I am. That's what you've said to yourself, and now you can move forward. Yeah, it's a lot. Accountability is a gym by itself. So silence and accountability, two of the best things you can do in this world, male or female.